Hello, I'm Sarah Stackhouse with Real News Communications Network, and I'm here with Sue and Casey with Puritan Financial Group. How are you, ladies?
Great, thanks.
Good,
Yeah.
thank you.
Well, thank you so much for joining me. Today we're talking about women in the industry, in the financial industry, and I wanted to hear a little bit more about both of your stories and how you found Puritan. So, Sue, if you want to go ahead and start and tell us a little bit about yourself and what you're doing now with Puritan.
Okay, sure. So I'm a district manager at Puritan Financial Group, and I manage the Tampa office in Florida. My territory is all the way from Tampa North, down to Naples.
Wow.
So, and I manage two account executives, my daughter Casey,
Very
and my
cool.
other account executive, Erin Hutchinson.
Wow, wow, that's very cool. So how did you get into Puritan?
Well, I was actually running some appointments for another marketing organization, doing administrative reviews of clients' trusts. And I found when I was running these appointments, when I would approach the clients' doors, they were expecting me to come. I had the appointment. But when I arrived, they thought that I was with Puritan. So they would not let me in the door.
Oh, wow.
So I thought, well, okay, so Puritan obviously is a strong competition here that I'm going to be running into, so maybe I ought to check out this company, Puritan.
Wow.
So I did, and I called them and went through the training, and they hired me. I started back when we were 1099 employees.
Oh, wow.
But since then, they've changed their business model quite a bit.
Yeah.
And over the years, I was able to move up a little bit in the company, and so now I'm a district manager, and
That's incredible.
I get to onboard and train new younger college graduates that are just coming out and starting a career.
That's
and
exciting.
Puritan is an excellent place to start your career.
That's great. And I assume, Casey, that you heard about the company from your mom.
Yes, of course.
So tell me a little bit about yourself and your experience in the onboarding process and what it's like to be a part of the team.
So my experience started with when I first moved down to Florida. I got a job where I thought I would be using my college degree eventually, and that did not work out. And I needed to find something that was more stable, had better opportunities, something that I was going to be able to move forward and progress. And so one day I called Mom and told her that I was struggling and I didn't know what to do. And, she kept sending me these different kind of work environments to go into, these different jobs to apply to. And then she was like, you know what? Let me call Puritan. Let me see what's going on down in Florida for Puritan. I said, okay, can't hurt, why not? So she did, and 2 weeks later, I had a job at Puritan, and I was sent off to Dallas and for my training, and it all just happened so fast.
Yeah.
And now, I think a year later after I was with the company, they moved my mom down to Tampa, and she's my boss now.
That's so exciting. And I'm sure, so both of you kind of have very cool experiences about how you got into Puritan. Tell me a little bit about what your experience has been in what was almost formerly kind of known as a male-dominated world. Tell me a little bit about both of your experiences and what it's been like to navigate that.
Sure. That's definitely a good question. And it was a little intimidating at first, getting started and training and being coachable with all of these other men that I was surrounded by.
Yeah.
I even believe back then I was probably the only female employee at Puritan, and I'm definitely the only district manager female for Puritan. There's like 15 other district managers with the company, and they're all men. But it's been empowering. It's been a wonderful experience. The gentlemen that I work with, they're all respectful.
That's great.
And they just make you feel comfortable, and we're a family.
Yeah.
And they feel like my big brothers.
Yeah.
So it's been really great.
And how about for you, Casey?
I don't think I have ever had any really issues or anything. I just feel like what Mom has said is that she's just felt very respected. And there's not one day that I could think that I did not feel like I was being talked down to or anything like that. So just the respect that Puritan gives to us women, I think, is very empowering and motivating to keep wanting to keep working with the company.
And what kind of traits that women generally usually have? Why is that why might that be a good why might that be good to bring to the table for the financial industry and specifically for Puritan Financial Group? What are women especially good at that, if a woman is watching this and they're like, oh, I can't be in the finance world, why might you be able to?
That's a great question. What I find is when I walk into a client's home, especially when I'm sitting with, say, a 75-year-old woman that's widowed, right? At first, I'd walk in and they'd say, a woman. I have not had a woman here before. This is a nice change. Oh. And I feel they feel less intimidated. They don't have that sharp shooting man that walks in with that suit and that tie that's a fast talker.
Sure.
They just feel, I think, more relaxed maybe. And it's just... It's also a great career for a woman because we have such flexibility in our schedules.
That's huge.
Yeah. And the time off and the benefits. It's definitely a good field for us women to get in, and I just don't think a lot of women realize the opportunities that are here as far as uncapped income.
Yep.
And we have benefits at Puritan.
That's great.
And a lot of us, we start off on a nice salary as well. So.
Yeah. That's great. And what about for any newcomers that are excited to join the business, nervous to join the business? What would you both tell them?
That there is a lot of growth. The company's always growing and things are always progressing. Your knowledge is constantly going to be tested. And I think that's a great thing to look at, especially when you're trying to start a new job or go into a new company. You want to make sure there's somewhere you can keep moving forward and progressing as an individual.
Yeah, the training and the coaching. You're not just pushed out there into the field and say go. You're not just thrown out there.
Go figure it out.
Yeah. It's just
good.
Like I said, we're a family. We help each other.
Wonderful. Well, ladies, thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate it.
You're welcome. Thanks for having us.
We're happy to. Real News Communications Network. I'm Sarah Strackhouse.